Welcome to the ePRINTit administration training program on how to enter in new locations within the HP ePrint, the ePrint, and the ePRINTit locations of the mobile applications and desktop applications. So as you can see, here are the three mobile applications. There are also desktop applications such as your desktop driver for HP ePrint Jet Advantage. So by selecting the ePRINTit application, I can select my files that I want to print. Now I'm searching for the partners that are currently enrolled in the system. These partners, the logos, are entered by us because when you become a main partner, we have to set you up first with your branding and any other information that you might want for your customers to see. But the internal information based on each store is provided by you, and that's primarily what this portal does as well. It provides you with the ability to run and print out reports on how many pages were printed or how many customers came into your store. So under the nearby category, these are all geolocated closest to where I'm sitting. But if I was to type in New York, you'll see it comes up with several hundred locations, UPS stores, FedEx stores, etc. If the location can accept the photo printing, then it will. If I select this location and hit print, I can have access to more information. This more information has things like store hours, contact information. What is important to recognize here is that these are called values, the gray area. The tag you're going to have to create because this is in several different languages. So if in Spain, it's going to be in Spanish up here, or if it's in China, it's going to be in Chinese up here. And if it's in the United States or Canada or the UK, it's going to be in English or India. So each of those locations will determine the language provision for the mobile application, but the values are created by you. So you have other further information such as your address. We're going to give you the main tag. So the company is the main tag that's going to be embedded in the system, and then you're going to create the rest, and we're going to go through a demo on how that is done. So the same thing when you get your email back. So when you've received your email from the system, or the customer has received the email from the system, you get a no reply from ePRINTit service. You'll see here's the UPS store and the code. This has been sent back from the UPS store. Now remember, all of these systems are connected as one partner. So if you send it to one UPS store, you can select any UPS store and get that same printout. And each location has a number of days that the partner decides shall be located in the system. So if it's a 7-day expiry that you want the job to be located, or you want it to be deleted the minute it's being printed. All of these things are set up on the back end, and they're all specific by the partner. So I'm going to get rid of the mobile application right now. And now you're going to be typing in your https eprintitservice.com/admin/login. You're going to be given a username and password, and you're going to submit. So here, because I'm in as an administration for ePRINTit itself, I have access to a lot of the locations around the world. Now, if, for example, you are postnet at ePRINTit.com, then you're only going to see your postnet locations. You'll be able to run reports, such as a transaction log for your location. You would find all of the records for anything printed at the postnet store, and you can export that into your current page. You'll get a lot of information with it, as you know, the submission time, the release time. So if something was submitted to your store but wasn't released, you'll see that as well. And that's quite normal. You probably see a lot more submissions than you will see releases. Your release location ID is, of course, the store that it's been released at, where it's located, and what the file size was and what they printed. You have other reports as well. You have activation code adoption. So if you were to send this out to 1,000 stores and you want to know that all 1,000 stores have downloaded the software that you've provided them, then you will find that here. So if you see that we have an activation code, that means not only have they physically activated it and installed it, but they actually did a print test. So these locations are still waiting to be activated. And once they are used once, then they show an activation. And of course, you have also a password creation report for your as an administrator. Now, the email template is being emailed to every one of those, let's say, 1,000 stores that you're going to install either the PC Desktop installer or the OXPD installer or the kiosk solution for education. Any of those solutions, you have to change the URL that you see here to download the installer. Make sure you tell your stores if you're only installing on specific printers, or you only want to install color or mono. You can give them specific instructions here, because every store that receives this software, once you've activated it, will receive this with the code to activate the system. So I'm going to create a new location right now. So by creating the location, I can put in my store. So this is an internal store number that you as an administrator have for that particular location. The name might be FedEx Office Services, and your email has to be the email that you want the people to receive the download link. The description is going to be, if you have a particular description for that store, which could mean it could be just the same, Office Services. If we have a very large install, let's say more than 100 locations, we'll probably do this on the back end for you. So just request, we'll send you a CSV file that you'll fill out. We'll take that CSV file and download it into the system so it's all automatic. But generally what's going to happen here is we'll do that first at the very beginning when we sign up all of your locations. And after that, you're adding a single location, or you're adding 10 locations, and it's a simple matter of you doing it at your end, plus being able to generate reports. So the segment, so let's say we're hospitalities or hotels. In the latitude and longitude, this is very important that you do this so that our mobile applications can geolocate the customer. And here I've put in a geolocation. Remember, your longitude is a minus number, your latitude is a positive number. Now I can save this now and save and add another, or I can add sections. These are the top bold black areas that I showed you in the mobile application. So you have your address, capabilities, contact, important information, message, operation, organization, pricing, and travel. Travel being if there's particular information you want your clients to receive to find that particular location. So these are very important. So let's say I want to put in an address. You'll see I'll be given a tag. The tag in this case would be street. Your value would be 1234 Anywhere Street. I want to add a tag again. I want to say city. City would be New York. I want to add a postal code. I think you get the idea here. We can just keep on adding tags as long as we want. We can add another section, let's say contact. So the contact, again, is going to be store manager in this case, maybe the contact I want, or store associate. And the value might be John Roberts. I can add another section and say I want to add a message. Or I can say add the capabilities. So again, the capabilities is going to be, let's say, printing. That would be a tag, or a label, sorry. So printing. And the value could be mono. Add a tag could be color printing. I mean, you can go on as long as you want in this and put in values as you go. And what you see here is what you're going to see on the mobile application. So we save. There's a location already registered with this external ID. So let's just change that and add that and save. And here we go. We've got the information. We get to kind of print preview it here a bit. We want to know if there's any reports. You're going to have access to this later on. And you're going to have to see whether your activation code has been accepted. So we're going to create this. Station has been successfully created. And you'll see I have an activation code here. So K85XCCR1. Now, if I had downloaded the software at this stage, when I get to the download location here, in this case it's the PC Desktop Release Station, I've downloaded the system, I say yes, and it's going to take over the screen. At this stage, you're actually going to be given a screen request at this point to put in that activation code. You enter in that activation code, and this is what you get. Now, your customer is going to see this screen. It can be a pop-up, or it can be the whole screen and locked down. To lock it down onto a kiosk or, let's say, a digital touch screen next to an MFP device, then I would recommend you put in a KidLock program. KidLock is a standard free program that you can get that locks down your screen so that only you can access the screen. And there will be a special passcode that you have to enter. And you can also use that, let's say, remotely if you're using LogMeIn Pro or any of the remoting in devices. This allows you to completely keep this away from your customers. Now, I want to send this, so by sending it, it's sending me an email with that activation code. And I will receive an email shortly that says exactly what I showed you here, that we want you to download at ePRINTitpublic.com. Now, your customers that are going to link to the ePRINTit.com, just going to copy this into my web browser to show you, going to have access to several downloads. They need to make sure that they download the application that they require. All the mobile apps are here. Your specific desktop drivers for Windows or laptops are here. Your ePRINTit OXPD installer is here. You have to be careful to choose color or black and white, depending on what your OXP printer is. If you are enabling payment at that kiosk location, then that has to be managed by us in the beginning. And if you wanted us to connect to your back-end payment processor, we do that at our end. Or if you want us to manage the payment processing, then it's a simple matter that we just use our current payment processor, PCI certified payment processor. It depends on the country you're in. Typically it's Stripe, but it's also Moneris in North America. You also have your OXPG Jet Pro installer system, and you have your PC desktop installer. And you have different languages as well to download. If you need further languages for the digital touchscreen, please just let us know and we'll install it for you. And that concludes how the ePRINTit system works for administrators.